You are so much more than you realize. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenna. I'm a certified hypnotist, a crystal Reiki master, and a past life regressionist. And today I'm going to be talking about kind of the second half of my journey towards finding my life's purpose. So if you didn't see my last video where I discussed the Jehovah's Witness organization a little bit and how I grew up around it, and then later on in life got baptized and was fully indoctrinated into those belief systems, I would definitely go back and watch that just so that you understand the context of this video and where I'm coming from in this video today. So I'll get right into it. So after leaving the organization, I was still very much a believer. However, I saw a lot of red flags that really rubbed me the wrong way, and I felt as though this religion that I grew up thinking was the truth, as they call it, after getting baptized, it kind of became a whole different religion. And so the love that I connected with as a child, the love was talked about, but it wasn't really apparent. I felt that there was a lot of rules, and I felt that it became more about the organization and less about God and spirituality. And that really hurt me because it's not what I was drawn to. And I was not happy. I was very, very depressed, and I knew that I needed a change. And so it was not an easy decision to make to stop going to the Kingdom Hall, but I was just following my intuition, right? My gut. So after leaving, a dear friend who I now consider my brother began sending me videos. And in watching these videos, these YouTube videos, I heard for the first time that the man who kind of invented the Jehovah's Witness religion, Brother Russell, he was actually a Freemason. And I knew a little bit about this from other people that I've come into contact with, other friends that I had, from my past, had talked about this type of kind of dark stuff. And so when I heard that, my ears definitely, stood up, and I began researching the organization. And so I went down that rabbit hole and then came across the Australian Royal Commission, which, if you don't know about that, definitely do your own research on it. But basically, it's like the Supreme Court in Australia, and they did a whole investigation on Jehovah's Witnesses and discovered that there were over 1,000 documented cases of child molestation that was covered up and hidden and never reported. So I watched this trial play out, and I watched the governing body members, one of the governing body member, give his testimony and give a specific example, which oddly enough was the exact scenario that I was going through. So I got disfellowshipped after leaving the Jehovah's Witness organization for celebrating Christmas. And they brought up that exact example. If there was a witness who was no longer going to meetings, no longer attending meetings, and the elders were to go to their house and find Christmas decorations or find them celebrating Christmas, would they be disfellowshipped or excommunicated? And the governing body member said no. And so I heard through the grapevine that they were going to make an announcement that I was not going to, that I was going to be disfellowshipped. So I actually took clips of, I think it was Brother Jackson. I think that was who it was. I don't know. It's been a while. But I took clips of that example and I sent it in an email, kind of expanding on each clip and why I should not be disfellowshipped, and how I was not talking bad about the organization, which I was not. I was just trying to survive in my own world, but I still was disfellowshipped, which really proved to me that that was the finishing touch where I knew, okay, this is definitely not being led by God, because this is men. And now I had my true confirmation that this was not the truth. So I'll fast forward. So I really began a journey of finding the truth, if there was anything. And so I started researching different religions. I started looking up self-help books, and I started reading. Gabrielle Bernstein was a big one for me in the beginning. She's an author who writes different self-help books and spiritually based. And so I remember the first book I read was The Judgment Detox, and how much that resonated with me, because as a Jehovah's Witness, you are extremely judgmental, not only of others, but of yourself. You're judging your thoughts, your feelings, your desires, everything. So that book really opened up my mind. It expanded a lot for me, and it really just opened me up. And I think being open in general, it sends a vibration out to the universe that you're ready for this information. So a lot of the things I discovered had presented themselves to me in childhood, in my teenage years, but I wasn't open to it. So I wasn't sending that signal out to the universe. And so at this time, as broken as I was open. And so the right people and the right things and these little breadcrumbs, I started following these breadcrumbs. But the right people just really were there for me. I began one by one building up a little bit of a support system, making friends, allowing myself for the first time to really connect with people, because I didn't have the fears of losing them the way that I did in the past. So I was able to begin building friendships, to really open myself up to people and connect with them in a way that I had never done before, because this world was always temporary to me, and these people were not going to be in my life forever. So I think to protect myself, I shut myself off to a certain level of friendship. So I would only go so far, because I knew ultimately one day I was going to lose them. And so that fear was now gone. And just to paint that picture a little bit better even, I distinctly remember one day picking my daughter up from daycare when I was still in that organization. And my daughter asked me if her friend from daycare, is so-and-so going to live in the new system, or is she going to die? I think she was maybe 3 years old at that time. And I had to lie to her, which I was lying in that moment, but I now realize, no, I actually was telling her the truth. But I said, absolutely not. God would never do that. She will be there. Which, if you are an ex-witness watching this, that was, at the time, a big fat lie. But I could not bring myself to tell my kid that. So you can understand the wall that is built up to other people outside of the religion, because they think that they're not going to have these people in their life forever, since they're not, also Jehovah's Witnesses. So I'll leave it at that. So I was opening myself up. I was researching. I was trying to heal. I was trying to move forward. I was trying to be strong for my kid, as broken as I was. But thankfully, I had my family, and I began making friends at work and reconnecting with people that I went to high school with. And so I had some people in my life, but I have to give a shout out to my grandmother, because she really was a rock for me. And I was able to share all of my feelings with her and all of my curiosities with her. And in my research, I stumbled across this church called Science of Mind, which I'm not affiliated with them, but when I told my grandmother about this, she knew all about it. She had gone there years ago with my mom. And I'm like, how could I not have known this? So when we went to the Science of Mind church, we checked it out a couple of times just to see if it was something that resonated with me. And I will say that that's the first time in my entire life is when I walked through those doors, you could feel the energy was so beautiful, peaceful, and loving. It wasn't like that love bomb of everyone trying to line up to talk to you with big smiles. Join us, join. It was not like that at all. It was genuine. And the people there were so nice and so diverse. And there was Reiki masters and other type of healers and just really cool people that I never would have connected with had I not, gone in there. And so my grandmother went with me, which was amazing. And I began really more of a journey, not going to their church, 'cause I only checked it out a couple of times. And now I feel that really everything is within me and within you. And so that's really the big takeaway. But instead of praying, they meditated. They did like a guided meditation, and it was just beautiful. So my grandmother in general, she's very connected to the Native Americans and the earth. And she just was always drawn towards that. And now I realize the connection that I have, even through my lineage. I come from a very strong line of women. I found out also that my mom was or is a psychic medium. And that was something that she tried to suppress my whole life. So I never even knew about this. So my mom is truly connected. My grandmother is extremely connected. And so I started just really learning more about my ancestry and my lineage and the people that I have really around me, physically and on the other side. And how cool it is that this is a whole world that was really right there waiting for me. And all I needed to do was kind of reach out, and I had no idea. And so in following my intuition and my guidance, I stumbled upon a crystal shop near my job, and I met a Reiki master, and I began studying Reiki. I felt called to. I got my Reiki certification. I also began working out and pushing my body as much as I could in following that inner voice once again that told me you need to push your body to the max in order to heal. And now I realize in doing so, exercise in general is very grounding. And when you're dealing with energy, if you know about the chakra system, the root chakra in particular, which is the lower chakra out of the 7 main chakras in your body that run through the meridian, the root chakra is responsible for basic life necessities, security, finances, food, shelter, all of your basic needs in life, the things that make you feel safe in this world, is what the root chakra is all about. So when you're living in a constant state of fear, your root chakra is definitely out of alignment completely. And that's where I was living for most of my life, in that fear-based state. So when I began to exercise, it was grounding me, which was helping to heal my root chakra. It was also moving the energy through my body, which I didn't even know. So exercise was a huge, huge deal for me, and it really did a lot to help me move forward and heal. And it also opened up my mind, because we hear a lot about the mind-body connection, but there's also a body-mind connection. And so when I did start an exercise regimen and began really working out hard, it opened up my mind, and I felt so strong doing hard things. It made me feel empowered. So that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tool that I added to my life. After studying Reiki, I furthered my education. I found somebody online who's known as the Chakra Diva, and she is absolutely incredible. I then furthered my studies under her and got my Crystal Reiki certification under her, and learned even more about energy, about crystals, and the effect that they have on the body, and how they can absorb energy. They can draw out negative energy. They can infuse you with positive energy, and they can really help heal your energetic body, which in turn heals your physical body and your emotional state as well. So there's no real one thing that put me on this path. It was really following my intuition and my inner guidance, and not being afraid, because being in the religion I was in, everything I'm interested now, it was terrifying to me. Any sort of spiritual communication is very scary in the beginning. And so I'm not saying go full force into it, but I'm saying that you are so much more than you realize. You are so much more powerful than you realize, and then you've been given credit for. That you have all of the power, the tools, the keys inside of you, but it's up to you to listen and to access all of the information you have within you. And so in learning about energy, about healing, about how the mind works, I also found somebody named Marissa Peer on a TED Talk. And everything that this woman was saying resonated with me. She's a therapist from the UK. And she was talking about the biggest plague on mankind is feeling that they're not enough. Not good enough, strong enough, skinny enough, whatever enough. And it brought tears to my eyes, because I spent my entire life thinking that I was not all of those things. I was not enough. And I wanted to give to other people what she gave to me in listening to that talk. It was so revolutionary to me. It was just, when something resonates with you. 10 other people might listen to it and it might do nothing for them, but when something resonates with you, you have to listen to that. You have to follow that. And I did. And I made a call, and I signed up for her school, and I began studying the mind under her and the team that she's put together. And I began doing hypnosis using her technique. And not only did I make even more beautiful connections and friendships through studying her method, which is called rapid transformational therapy, but I was able to also receive these hypnosis sessions and do this inner work on myself. And as a meditator, meditation is empowering, it's healing, it's incredible. The effects that meditation has on the mind, the body, the spirit, everything is absolutely phenomenal. But when you're working in the state of hypnosis, you're directly working with the subconscious mind, where all of your beliefs are stored. And these beliefs are formed before you even turn 8 years old. And these are the same beliefs that we are running on today. Whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. The program that you're running on essentially is from when you were a little kid, before you had the capacity and the reasoning to distinguish right from wrong, and to really use your logic to sort out this information, we form beliefs and draw conclusions from a very young age where we are very limited. And so to tap into that and be able to uproot the causes of what was holding me back, and then program in or refeed in all of the good stuff that I wanted to believe, that was where the magic really began. It wasn't a struggle, it was more easy to heal, to reform these beliefs, reframe them. And hypnosis, I have to say, was the most powerful healing modality that I tried. And I tried all different kinds of things, from breathing techniques to different forms of meditation to yoga to everything I feel like I've tried. But I have to say, for me, hypnosis was the most liberating because it was dealing directly with my subconscious mind. And particularly with Marissa Peer's method, it allows you to go back and regress back to the cause of the issues that I had developed within myself. And so we were able to uproot them. And it's completely transformed my entire life. With me healing myself, which is, of course, a practice, and, of course, I have my off days, but in general, I can say I'm healed. And it's helped my daughter tremendously, because now I'm able to be there for her. I'm a real mom, where I didn't feel like that before. I felt like I was running this race that I was never getting to the finish line, and comparing myself to everyone, and I was never enough, right? Now I'm able to be strong for her. I'm able to show her my vulnerabilities and my weaknesses, and show her that, but I'm not gonna let that stop me. And I have to say, it has not only healed myself, but it has healed my daughter. I see a tremendous difference in her behavior, in her self-esteem, and I'm a different person now. I have manifested really the life of my dreams, and I am trying to manifest more, but everything that I have put on my first vision board that I created, every single thing has come true down to the T. I have a loving relationship. I found the love of my life. I was able to pay off a lot of money in debt. I have a beautiful relationship now with my daughter, and that's priceless. I'm doing work that I love. I'm able to share my story with people and share the tools that I have now to help other people. And when I get that email or that text, oh my goodness, I'm doing this, and that now. I never thought this was possible. Or people that have lost weight that I've worked with, and how freeing that is. And when you get those messages from somebody that you've helped, there's no words to describe how amazing it makes me feel. That I helped somebody, that I touched somebody's life in some way, and that's my purpose. And so when you align with your purpose, you're unstoppable, you're untouchable. And so everybody has a purpose. It may not necessarily be mine. I discovered that I'm a healer. I've discovered that I am intuitive. And to be able to give back to even one person, to touch even one person's life, is the most rewarding feeling that you can have ever. And so I hope that this inspired you in some way to find your truth, to find your purpose. And if you need help getting there, reach out to me. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. It's my passion in life, is to help others. So all of the information is within you. All of the the tools to heal are within yourself. And so it's all about perspective. It's very easy to focus on what we lost or what we don't have, but all we have right now is this moment. And so if you can look forward and shift your perspective even just a little bit, to count your blessings, to appreciate and have gratitude for the things that you do have, even if it's one small thing, put your focus on that, because it's going to expand and grow, and you will have more things to be thankful for if you shift your perspective. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you got something out of it. Please like and comment below. I love to hear from you. I love all of the questions and the comments. They mean so much to me. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye.